Erikson is a personality theorist. He believed that social relationships are the most important factors in personality development. Erikson was Freud's student, Freud being a very well-known psychologist. He thought Freud's stages were too limited and too few. He came to this conclusion as he studied a wide array of subjects when he arrived in America after living in Germany, Austria, and Italy. Erikson proposed 8 development stages spanning the entire lifespan, each one characterized by a particular challenge or developmental crisis that is central to the stage of life in question and must be resolved.
Trust versus mistrust. Babies learn either to trust that others will care for their basic needs, including nourishment, warmth, cleanliness, and physical contact, or to lack confidence in the care of others. In a neighborhood with freshly mowed lawns and people walking their dogs, lived a family with a 4-month-old baby. This baby was getting ready for his nap, with a fresh bottle of milk coming to him. This baby is comforted and always being hugged. His mother calls to him with warmth. This baby has its basic needs taken care of, and this baby lives in a stress-free environment. Down the road is another house. It's not run down and it isn't messy. It's just another house in the neighborhood. In this house lives a mother and a father and a 5-month-old baby. The mother and father are arguing, and the father just walked out the door. The mother is yelling and sobbing, and she leaves the house as well. On the floor is a car seat where our little 5-month-old baby sits. The infant is crying out for comfort and in desperate need of a bottle. This environment seems normal, but this baby lacks physical contact and lacks confidence in the care of others. Initiative versus guilt. Children want to undertake many adult-like activities, sometimes overstepping limits set by parents and feeling guilty. Another day, grocery shopping. A mother and her 2 children were out in town shopping for this week's dinner. And man, was Mom worn out. The 5-year-old son is happily walking next to their mom, picking up random snacks he likes and throwing them in the cart. Mother keeps saying no and takes them out, but he wants to help shop too. He wants to grow up fast so he can do whatever he wants and put whatever he wants in the cart. Candy, toys, and a bunch of fruit snacks. One day, he will get what he wants when he's an adult. At the checkout, a tired man in a suit is putting groceries on the belt. Next to him is his 5-year-old son, who shyly stares at the kid, yelling at his mom for candy. Looking at the candy, the boy gets hungry. He also wants candy. But his dad said they would get food later. But he wants food now. He looks at his dad and looks down. He shouldn't make a fuss about it. He still wants to try, but he feels guilty. He knows Dad isn't feeling good today. He picks up the candy and decides to ask anyway. His dad sighs and says yes, and the candy is put on the belt. The child's happy, but still feels guilty. He knows Dad isn't happy.
Intimacy versus isolation. Young adults seek companionship and love with another person or become isolated from others by fearing rejection and disappointment. A young girl who grew up as the oldest child and with a mother who had commitment issues, she met so many men her mother would date, every man but never her father. Her mother barely being home, and when she is, all they do is clash until they don't speak for hours on end. She believes her mother is against her and all she wants to do is be able to feel loved. She has a fear of rejection by her mother and can't seem to bear the lifestyle she's living. Her childhood friend, who has become her closest support system, has never been good at saying no. She is a people pleaser. She is always doing things for others and never herself. She does anything and everything to keep people in her life close to her. She has a fear of abandonment and a fear of change. Her home life is loving and nurturing, other than the fact that she lives with only her father and her mother speaks to her only on birthdays and Christmas. She's been disappointed too many times. Integrity versus despair. Older adults try to make sense out of their lives, either seeing life as a meaningful whole or despairing at goals never reached. He graduated college with his master's degree in business and traveled the world with his group of friends. Going from place to place without a care in the world, he would always say to himself, it couldn't get better than this. Starting his own business and making hundreds of thousands of dollars, he would continue to say to himself, it couldn't get better than this. As years go on and he goes to the same job every day, sees the same people every day, and passes the same streets every day, he begins to realize that he has a missing piece. He graduated with a master's, he has seen the world, He has made a name for himself and made thousands of dollars, but he has never been able to throw a football with his son or take his daughter to the park. Down the hallway, a woman sits with pictures of her family on her desk and sounds of phone calls from her husband throughout the day just so he can tell her he loves her. She comes home every day with a smile on her face and hugs to be given to her family. She had a dream of having a house on the beach and living a simple life, every day on the water and only working just enough throughout the week to pay her rent. She may not be living on the beach, but she has a loving husband and children that adore her. This means she is living a meaningful life even though her goals were never reached.